All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, trips a lot of us up. Math word problems. But what if we stopped thinking about them as math problems and started thinking of them as a language? A language that we can actually learn to translate. That's what we're going to do today.
You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a paragraph full of words and numbers, and it just feels impossible. Like someone's written a secret code and you're the only one who didn't get the key. Yeah, we've all been there.
But here's the thing. It's not a secret code. It's just a different language. And once you learn the vocabulary and the grammar, you can translate those confusing sentences into clean, simple formulas. And that is exactly the skill we are going to build in this explainer.
So let's really dig into this idea. Think about it. English is a language we use to describe relationships between things. Well, mathematical language does the exact same thing. The big difference? It uses symbols to be incredibly precise and way more efficient.
A regular sentence, a verbal sentence, might say something like, the total distance you travel is your speed multiplied by how long you travel. It describes a relationship. Mathematical language just takes that same idea and makes it super concise, turning it into a formula which gets rid of any confusion.
And the key to this whole translation process? It's the formula. This is our main tool. It's like the bridge that's going to take us from the world of words into the world of clear-cut equations.
So, what is a formula, really? Well, our source material defines it as a rule that uses mathematical language to express a relationship between two or more variables. Or, to put it simply, it's the recipe. It tells you exactly what to do with the ingredients, your variables, to get the right answer.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get our hands dirty and do our very first translation. We're going to take a super simple question about a rectangle and watch it transform into one of the most famous formulas out there.
So here's our problem. Now sure, you could sit there and count every single one of those squares. 1, 2, 3. But imagine if the rectangle was like 500 units long. That would take forever. We need a better way. We need a formula.
Now look at this. This comes right from our source material and it shows the logic perfectly. Forget the words for a second. Just look at the grid of squares. You can see a pattern, right? The total number of squares is just the number of rows multiplied by the number of columns. In this case, that's 3 rows of 5, which gives us 15. That simple pattern is the relationship we're trying to capture.
And this is the translation. The verbal sentence, area is the product of length and width, becomes the formula A equals LW. A for area, L for length, and W for width. See that? It's a perfect, direct translation from words to symbols. So simple.
Okay, now that you've seen it in action, let's build up some muscle memory. We're going to do a few quick reps with examples straight from our source text. I'll give you the sentence, and we'll translate it into a formula together.
All right, first one up, we've got our variables right there in the sentence. P for perimeter and S for the side length. Now, look for the keywords, the instruction words. I see is equal to and 4 times. So, how do you think that translates?
You got it. P equals 4s. The phrase is equal to becomes your equal sign, and 4 times just means 4 multiplied by s. Clean, simple, done. Let's do another one.
Okay, next up. Our variables are C for cost, N for the number of things you're buying, and P for the price. This time, the really important keyword is the product of. What does that tell us to do?
Exactly. Product just means multiplication. So the cost, C, is simply the number of items, N, times the price, P. C equals NP. Are you starting to feel the pattern here? The words themselves are the blueprint.
All right, one last practice round. We're trying to find M, the number of months, based on Y, the number of years. The key phrases are pretty clear again. Is equal to and 12 times. So what does that look like as a formula?
And there you have it. M equals 12y. The number of months is always going to be 12 times the number of years. And just like that, you've translated 3 completely different ideas into clean, precise formulas.
So what's the big picture here? This isn't just about math problems. You've basically unlocked a new skill, a kind of superpower for taking messy, confusing word problems and turning them into something clear and solvable.
It all really boils down to this simple 3-step process. First, you hunt for those keywords, the words that tell you the relationship, like is, product of, or times. Second, you identify your variables, the changing quantities, and give them letters. And third, you just use those keywords to connect the variables in the equation. That's the whole game plan.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on.
This translation skill isn't just for textbooks. Start looking for it in your daily life. The total cost of your morning coffee for a week, the amount of time it takes to binge watch a show. The world is full of these relationships. So, what's an everyday sentence that you could turn into a formula?